Sports fans, don't miss the latest on our website. Ben Dowsett's newest installment of Lineup Love, the Pistons, and Rafael Uhuara on Nikola Vucevic's extension. Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I thought it'd be fun to go through the Warriors offense from last year and compare it to this year because, quite frankly, when you do that, it kind of looks like it goes from this
Warriors, come out to play.
to this. So it was pretty much a lot of fun to go through and see what Steve Kerr is doing, and here's the bottom line. They already have a top 5 defense, and their middle-of-the-road offensive efficiency from last year will without a doubt improve based on what we're seeing and what Steve Kerr is instituting with his team. And we all know that if you get to be a top 5 offense and defense, that is instant title contention. I mean instant, and they will compete with the upper teams in the Western Conference for that first seed because they are pretty deep except for Andrew Bogut, but then Ezeli is back. And I think that they're really going to be a tough team that no one's going to want to play. And if they get enough breaks, they can make it to the NBA Finals, and who knows? Anything can happen when you get that far. Does everybody remember the Mark Jackson era in muted colors? Well, I do. And this set is called 25 because the 2 guard screens for the 5 before the center screens for the ball. Notice how the spacing is pretty poor for the 2 guard after he sets the screen with very little movement, even though they get great shots off of both of these sets. But now, in living, breathing color, the Warriors are still running 25, but watch how the 2 guard will then get a pin down on the weak side, opening up a lot more room in the lane. And this also balances the floor much better, where Bogut can utilize his superior ball handling and passing abilities. Running floppy sets is a staple of most NBA offenses, where a cutter gets pin downs on both sides of the floor. However, notice that Steph Curry often was the point guard, stuck dribbling in place instead of the shooter coming off the screen. Now, we're seeing him be the shooter, where he's much more deadly on the catch and shoot. For comparison, last year, Steph Curry came off screens only 7.2% of the time. A great example of coaching criminality in my book, while in the preseason, Curry is coming off screens almost 17% of the time. Getting Curry off the ball more will make him more dangerous all around and improve the team's efficiency. The Warriors ran hawk last year with Iguodala initiating the pick and roll with Thompson and Curry alternating getting the weak side pin downs. First off, Iguodala was just awful in the pick and roll as a ball handler, and the pin downs on the weak side were set too high, causing spacing issues for the shooter. This year, they've moved more to Klay Thompson bringing the ball up and letting Steph Curry's off-the-ball gravity pull the defense out of position and get easy looks for his teammates. And here they flow into horns again with Thompson up top. With great passing big men and Curry coming out of the corner, this set is simply devastating. Last year, they did run horns with Klay on top as well, getting some nice flex action on the weak side with the pocket pass to Lee. But all too often, they'd have Curry initiate where he couldn't put the same kind of pressure on the defense. They've simplified some things in horns, looking to feed the high post as much as possible and get at least 1, if not 2, pin down screens for the weak side corner every time they enter the ball to the high post. The flow is fantastic and the willingness to pass has been awesome. One regret I have is it appears the Warriors have gone away from the elevator play that ran out of horns last year that I love so much. However, they've replaced it with the Spurs motion into horns, which is just as good if not better. Because of the motion, it disguises the horn set till it's too late for the defense to do much, if anything, about it. Curry will get 2 screens coming across, then Bogut fills the high post, almost like pinch post. You don't often see the point guard screen for the weak side high post, then pop out, and it's a shame Curry didn't shoot this open look, but it still kept the defense on their heels. Now, we move to the bane of all Warriors fans' existences last year, the isolation post-up. Mark Jackson fell in love with this play, perhaps because he got them so often in his career, but you can see how stagnant these plays are. It allowed the defense to slide over and double or clog the lane much more easily, and it simply wasn't pretty basketball. This year, however, Steve Kerr has them running old school splits in front of the low post, which was the original design of the triangle offense, and this kind of action is gorgeous. Screens can be set as down screens for open looks from the perimeter, or back screens to get cutters going towards the rim. And just watch how the weak side cutter keeps moving and occupies the defense so the posts can score. They also will screen at the elbow for the guard, which is ripped right from the Princeton offense playbook.